I think working remotely, maybe it is nice the first few days or months, but after that, there is some kind of like loneliness or some kind of voidness that I couldn't get when I work in on-site job.
AI cannot leader the team, so it still needs to be human that give the instructions to the team. So I think Gen Z, we are as a Gen Z should prioritize the leadership skills, the communication, clear communications want, the critical thinking to always stay relevant to our generations.
We need some kind of appreciation because of our contribution to the company. So it's not really just a lot of demands, it's just a fair treatment from the company to us.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to Boarding Talk. Right now we are having special episode with Miss Rika and Miss Anggi again. And for today's theme, we're gonna discuss about the future of work. What does Gen Z want from their jobs? Okay, so what do you guys think about this theme?
Okay, so I think today's as our personal reflections, not as an academic discussion, right? We want to share our opinion about how the noise out there say that Gen Z want from their job. Is it being lazy or is it being not professional or something like that? We want to share our personal opinions about what Gen Z truly wants about their jobs, I think. What do you think, Anggi?
Yeah, I think especially these days, there are a lot of controversies between what Gen Z want from their company, what company think about Gen Z, and I think it's just like the generation shifts, and there are also habits that are different. So I think there need to be a shifting between the habitual work load and work environment. So yeah, I think it's also a really nice topic to discuss because it's really happening right now.
Right. So talking about Gen Z, I think, do you guys think that Gen Z just genuinely different from previous generations, or are we just seeing the same patterns from kids? This they repeated.
Okay, I think it's a bit both. Like every generation gets labeled as different, but the difference with Gen Z is the context they grew up in. They were raised with the internet, with constant access to global information. They have seen economic crisis, pandemics, and rapid technological advancements, all before turning 25. So their expectation of life, work, and success naturally shift. Plus, social media amplifies everything. What used to be private opinions are now public conversations. So the perceived difference feels bigger, even if some patterns are actually similar to past generations.
Yeah. Okay. So I think every generation have their characteristic, right? Maybe in millennials, they're more rigid, they're more being so stick to the rules because they face a lot of dynamic and life, and so on with the Gen Z. We also, as Mas Hammam refers before, that Gen Z face our economic crisis, fast, globally changing. I think it's kind of different with Gen Z because we face really fast, globally changing, and we need to try to always adapt with the situation. So I think the difference it's become in how we adapt, how fastly we adapt, rather than the other generations.
Yeah, for me, I also think that we as a Gen Z, we live in like a very modernized world. It's different from our parents, and it will be different with our children too in the future. But if we see it now, the older generation, the millennial, the boomers, they don't really spend their whole childhood with internet. No, they're not exposed to the lives in another countries very often like us. So of course, there are differences between our generation and also the previous generations because we are exposed to globalization more and we need to adapt to it fast. And about the kids these days repeated, I think it is the same kind of behavioral pattern that we see from each generation. The older generation will view us, oh, kids these days, because we are different than them, because they are not used to seeing our habits, our maybe new environment, because they live in the previous generations. So it is kind of same for the behavioral type, like they kind of look down on us because we are different than them. But it is because of the changes that we are perceived like that.
Right. I think that all a perspective from social media, right?
Yes.
Gen Z looks more lazy, looks more mental health awareness and something like that, right? I think if we remove social media and online narratives, what do you guys think about Gen Z actually want or value in works? For me, personally, I think as a part of Gen Z, I want stability, I want growth, and I want dignity. So I think we don't want to always reject the rules if it doesn't also impact to our work improvement, work growth. So I think we just want to have the growth development, human workload, and also appreciation from our environment. So I think that's the actually Gen Z one actually in work.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think it's just very simple actually. Like the people, even from my friends, they just want like two things. They just want to be respected and they just want to grow. So in the work environment, if we would talk about work environment, there are a lot of jobs that treat their employee very unfairly. We're talking about wages, we're talking about maybe seniority. There are, it's hard to admit, but in Indonesia we have that kind of seniority where the people who work long before them sees the new employee as someone who is less. And it is kind of affecting the people who are new because we as Gen Z, we want to be just treated fairly. We want to be treated based on our work. We want to be treated as human. So yeah, I think mainly it's just two things. We want to grow where we're not treated like robots, but like human beings who are doing their job. And we want to be respected. Yeah. What about you, Hammam?
I think Gen Z wants the same things humans have always wanted: security, respect, fairness, and the change to grow. But they express it differently. They are more vocal. They are more aware of their options, and because information is so accessible, they are harder to fool. So when they say they want a meaningful job or a supportive work environment, it's not a trend, it's a reflection of real life experiences.
Okay, we're talking about Gen Z. We want something that appreciate us, right? We want to have the efficiency in every roles that we take. So I think we call it as a flexibility, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys think as flexibility a genuine desire of a response of maybe a rising living costs, traffic, and long commute? Maybe about you, Hammam.
Honestly, I think flexibility is both a need and a reaction. Traffic is worse, living costs are higher, commutes are longer. If you spend 2 until 3 hours on the road every day, of course you will crave a more flexible schedule. But beyond that, Gen Z grew up with access to tools that makes flexible work possible. They know productivity is not tied to sitting in a chair from 9 to 5, so the demand for flexibility is not unreasonable. It's adaptive.
Yeah.
All right. I think for me, flexibility is a survival needs for us as a Gen Z. As I mentioned before, rising living costs, traffic, and long commute. I think we just not want to be part of that kind of roles because we think that it's inefficiency. If we can achieve our target, if we can do our works remotely, hybrid, and do something that we can do in office, and we also eliminate the thing like rising living costs, traffic, and long commutes that also be inefficient for the office, so why not? I think that call the efficiency also.
Okay. For me, I think it's just kind of both, because when we see it from the economical perspective, we see that maybe the living costs, the rising living costs, traffic and long commutes shape the Gen Z needs to have a flexibility or remote kind of work, so that they can cut down the cost, and they will have more chance of survivability. But I think there are also some people that sees flexibility such as doing remote job in their houses or doing work from cafe as just a desire, a genuine desire, because there are some people who are more introverted. There are some people who doesn't really deal with people face to face. So yeah, I think it's just kind of how we see it, and there are also we also need to take note that there are people who are just more introverted, and it is their genuine desire. They don't really see the economic value. They just see how flexibility and remote work as their desire. Yeah.
Okay, so we mentioned a lot about remote, about hybrid, and something like that. And do you guys think remote is something that can hurt or help the Gen Z?
Well, I think remote work is not really hurting. I think it's, if we're talking about Gen Z, it's more of helping, yeah, because the works are easier. I mean, like, we don't really have to go to the office. We don't really need to deal with all of the traffic and the costs. But at the same time, it also eliminates the working culture where we meet the person, the people in our job face to face. And that is something like removing some kind of essential feature of working, because me myself, I also have worked remotely before this, and I also felt that even though it is nice to wake up whenever I want and to do the job wherever I want, however, there are some things missing from me. Well, me myself, I am the type of person who needs to work as a teammate. I need to work in a teammate environment. I need to work with people. I need to be motivated with the people around me. So I think working remotely, maybe it is nice the first few days or months, but after that there is some kind of like loneliness or some kind of voidness that I couldn't get when I work in on-site job. Yeah. What about you, Garika?
I think 100% agree with Ms. Anggi. I think remote help us to improve our productivity, because we can eliminate something like we can do every days, and some inefficiency like long commutes and something like that, because we can do everything right here. We can do wherever we want and something like that. So I think remote work maybe can also improve our productivity. So it can be helping, but also these cases also depend on the situations. Remote also eliminates the mentorships. Also, we can't replicate the mentorships, office culture, teammate in real lives in digitally. So I think the solutions about that may be a hybrid working. We still can do a remote to improve our productivity. Also, we can also still improve our social life in office culture, do in offline. So I think Gen Z, it's more suitable with hybrid kind of work.
Yeah, I agree that remote work gives freedom, but it also removes some of the informal learning that happens naturally in an office, like observing how seniors handle situations or casually asking questions during lunch. For those in early career stage, that offline exposure can be priceless. So I agree with Rika that hybrid work is the most balanced approach. It allows flexibility but still builds connection and mentorship.
Okay, so I think we all agree that maybe Gen Z wants something that have a purpose, efficient, and more can be beneficial for the employee and the company itself. And do you guys think that Gen Z truly seek the purpose, or it is a reaction to the meaningless or low growth jobs in our today's world?
Well, for me myself, I see the purpose itself is not really something that is well, it is a reaction to the meaningless and low growth jobs, because what do you want, like when you get a job and it's just like a monotone kind of job, like you're just doing administration stuff and then it's not really your passion, you started to realize that life is just more than that. However, I think it's just not a Gen Z type of feeling. I think it's just every generation feel that they need to find a purpose, because if you even when you work in a way that you are passionate about, like when you like coffee and then you're a barista, or you work as an artist and you do work in that kind of entertainment environment, you still get a realization that is this really the type of work that you are into? What is your purpose of life? What is your purpose on doing this job? Does this make you happy? Everybody realizes that at some point of their lives. It's not really just Gen Z, although it is Gen Z that are experiencing it more these days, because we are exposed to the global world more than the previous generation, and we realize this more as time pass on. What do you think?
I think the purpose, I think yes, we want to have our job that have a purpose, but not as an romanticized way like that. We don't want our job to save the world or to give the fairness in all the world. I think we just want the purpose of it can be more meaningful, can be also impactful as to grow our personally development and something like that. So I think the purpose is yes, but not that be more powerful or something that online narrative said before.
Yeah, I think about purpose. Purpose is a natural desire. But I think part of the reason it's louder now is because Gen Z has seen people burn out during their meaningless jobs with no growth. They don't want to repeat those cycles, but at the same time, purpose shouldn't be misunderstood. Sometimes purpose grows from skill and experience, not from passion alone.
Okay, so I think talking about purpose, it's kind of make Gen Z more criticized about our jobs privileges, right? So in our cases in Indonesia has high youth and unemployment and underemployment. So what do you guys think, how this reality shape Gen Z expectations work? Maybe.
Yeah, this is a big one. When job competition is high, expectations shift. Some young people become more ambitious and push harder. Others become anxious or confused because the opportunities they want don't always exist. So Gen Z's expectations are shaped not only by desire, but also by survival. They want jobs that feel worth fighting for, I think.
For me, how the unemployment and unemployment that have the height in Indonesia, I think it makes Gen Z more strategic. I think we are, as a Gen Z, more critic to the job requirement, to the job things to do in office and something like that, that make us more strategic to choose something. So I think how that cases affect our Gen Z's expectations to work.
Yeah. Well, for me, we talk. We have to see it again of the rate of the youth unemployment and underemployment, because when there are competition because of the jobs that are in Indonesia, maybe it's just too low for the very much people in Indonesia. We see it as a competition, and the Gen Z, especially the young people, they are expected to do more than the previous generation. Maybe like, even though it's just an entry-level kind of job like administration or just something that you don't really need skills on, the companies, they still want 1 or 2 years experience when they are offering it to fresh graduate. So if there are Gen Zs that fit the criteria because they hustle more, maybe they do hustle more, then of course they have expectations at their work who required so much what do you call
Work-life balance.
yeah the work when there are requirements that are so high for the Gen Z, and they feel the requirements, so they also demand the work to also give the feedback benefit the benefit to the young people, to the Gen Z. But when we say that, when we demand that, the companies, they are overwhelmed by it because they are not used to it. Yeah, they are not capable, and they are not used to the demands from the previous generations. What do you think about those kind of situation, Radhika?
I think maybe that the rise of the young employment in Indonesia also, maybe we call it Indonesia Emas, a golden Indonesia and something like that, that also enhance our growth employment. So I think company have more opportunity to choose, so they also enhance their requirement, even though they can give the same beneficial for the Gen Z. And that is also the thing that can create the quote-unquote work-life balance to Gen Z, so they can more be mindful about that. And it's also kind of confusing for us, maybe is it a growth or is it a work-life balance? I think that kind of thing is also affected by the real-life situation in Indonesia. So do you guys think that growth and work-life balance are the two things that can be compatible in early career stage, like Miss Anggi refers before, that in the early career stages that company want us to have something really high, while we are as a Gen Z also want something that can be balanced to our what we can give in the first stage of career.
Yeah, for me, growth and a work-life balance in early stages of work, I think it is achievable. However, it is hard to find the companies that are fitted with us, because when we work, we expected growth. Right. But the companies, they just want to see us doing our job like our robots. Even when the job is not really our task and our position, we are expected to do it. And it's not really the growth, maybe it's not really the growth that we are seeking, but it's just like doing a robot kind of
is it a personal experience?
No, it's not personal. I just hear it from somewhere from my friends.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you are in a fitted company, when they give you a space where you can grow, then you can see the job, the hours that you spend at the job is as a growth. And after that, you can have like the type of healing that you need. So there are a work-life balance, and the work part is just you growing. What about you, Varga?
Yeah, I think growth and work-life balance is something that coexists if company can manage the workload for the employee. So I think growth doesn't require a burnout. It requires a mentorships, a clear KPIs, a good workload for everyone's the balanced one. So it can be balanced about growth and work-life balance if we have a cooperation between employee and company itself.
Yeah, if we talk about work-life balance and growth, if they can coexist, it's challenging, but not impossible. It depends how the company defines growth. If growth means working overtime every week, then it means no. But if growth means learning, mentorship, and meaningful tasks, not just workload, then it can absolutely coexist with balance.
Yeah, I think there is also a fact that Gen Z are more likely to switch jobs quickly.
Yeah.
Online artists say that is this lack of loyalty or a rational response to stuck at wages. What do you guys think? Maybe you have any personal experiences to switch job quickly?
For me, I'm not hopping job easily, but I have my friend.
You have a friend. Like what?
Whose name is
No, that she likes to what?
Hold and jump, switch quickly.
No, but it's like the phase that probation. She likes to have a probation in the company because she wants to see the company and how the environment. But I think it's a strategy for her. Like so.
Yeah, it's clever strategy.
Yes.
she's very great-minded.
I want to know her actually.
Yeah,
And do you think that is the lack of loyalty and integration, maybe something like that?
I don't think so. Because nowadays you have to prioritize yourself first before others, and that's how you survive in this global world.
Right, and I think that is a rational response that she can give to the jobs. And what do you think?
Well, I don't really think it as what do you call him?
Young Z switches job.
Lack of it's not really something that is lacking of loyalty or something. It's just when you see a better chance, when you see a place where you can grow more and also provide better wages. I think it's not really a loyalty. It's just basic economics. It's just basic economics and basic survivability skill. When you need to grow, then you seek a place where a better environment where you can grow. So I don't really think it's a lack of loyalty, and also it's not really a stagnant response to the wages. I think it's just the whole around where you can grow and you need a better place to grow. Then and then that place provides you a place where you can grow better, and then they also offer better wages. Then why still stick to the company? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
How about you? What do
For
you think?
me, it's obviously a rational response. It's not a lack of loyalty for me. I think it's a self-advocacy, you know. It's our response to the situations. If the situations cannot give us a space to grow, a space to have something better than before. So I think that is the space that we need to hope. We need to see others better opportunities. And personally, I want to ask you guys, if you face that situation, would you stay in that jobs that can give you a growth space, or you want to hope the other jobs that can give you a better efficiency, but you can maybe label as not a loyal employee?
No. Well, for me, I just maybe it also depends on the work environment. Oh, yeah, we also have to note about the work environment. When we have a good relation with our team, with our colleagues, then it is maybe kind of hard to do job hopping. But we don't really see the relation we have with the colleague as some kind of our advantages on staying at the company. It's just I personally I would also choose a better place where they offer me a good place to grow, a good place to also a good company to move forward, to be a visionary company. And I think I will choose that company even though they don't really offer me a better wages maybe. So it's not really about wages, it's just about how we are in that company, how we grow in that company, and how the company vision itself. But it will also be kind of stressing and sad for me when I leave the type of work environment where I have a good relationship with the colleagues and also the team. Yeah, so maybe it will be hard for me to leave the job, but it is needed for me to grow as a person individually and also as someone who works in a visionary company. Yeah.
And what do you think
Yeah,
about that?
I totally agree with Anggi that for me, myself, of course, I will take a better opportunity for me. Not just the benefits of the salary, but of course the environment, the vision, the future of myself.
Okay, great.
Great. So we all agree.
We all agree about that. And talking about the expectations, right? Against expectations. Do you think that Gen Z is more demanding to the companies, or it is a company just too slow to adapt?
I think expectations becomes demanding only when workplace refuse to evolve. Gen Z is not asking for anything extreme. They want fair pay, growth, respect, balance. Those are not unreasonable. What needs to happen is alignment. Gen Z is learning patience and companies learning to modernize. Yes, that's right.
Okay, for me, I think Gen Z are more transparent than the other generations. Maybe the millennial, the baby boomer, and the other generations think the same, but they stay silent. But for us, we are more focused about that. So I think that label as a demanding generations. Or maybe it's also the company just too slow to adapt, and it come back again. It depends on the situations. It will be a demanding if the company also offer the great opportunities to grow, to develop yourself as a human, as a person, and also give you a balance benefit for you as an employee. But it will be also the companies just too slow to adapt if they can give you a proper environment, but also still need to ask you a great target, a great one, while don't give you a facility about that. So I think it also depends on the situations.
Well, for me myself, I just think that it needs both sides. It needs maybe the companies are too slow to act, but we also need to see that the companies doesn't just move from one head, even though there are maybe some policies that that fills the Gen Z demands, but there are also the people who works there, and they can't really control the many people who works there to treat it the same, to treat the policy the same. So maybe the company is too slow to act, but it's not just like the head alone, the head responsibility alone, or just like the whole company. It's just, yeah, there are just too many dynamics in it. But I also think that maybe as a Gen Z, we also need to give the companies a chance to grow, to adapt to our demands. Because even though I get that we are exposed more to mental health, and we are more aware of the responsibility and also the benefit that we should have get. However, we also need to give it a chance, to give the company a chance, and to give ourselves a chance to grow and also to adapt to new situations. And yeah, I just think that it's just come from both sides.
Okay, talking about the fast changings, that word that we always refers before from our discussions together. We also face what the globally changing from the millennials to us in this world, and there are more fast changing and something like that. And we also face with the AI, something that give us an instantly solutions. So do you guys think with AI automating systems that also do our tasks rapidly, it can also affects our Gen Z expectation to work? Or what kind of specific character that we need to also always adapt with this AI automation systems?
Okay, so with AI rising, which skills matter most? Of course, AI can automate tasks, but AI is not humans. So the skills that matters are those AI can't fully replace, like critical thinking, emotional intelligence, communication, creativity, adaptability, and ethical reasoning. Tech skills help, but mindset skills are what keep people relevant.
Okay, agree. AI maybe can automate the task, but cannot replicate the character.
Yeah.
So we need to have, again, critical thinking. We need to have the clear communications, and maybe something that cannot be replicated by AI is leaderships. AI cannot leader the team, so it still needs to be human that give the instructions to the team. So I think Gen Z, we are as a Gen Z should prioritize the leadership skills, the communication, clear communications the critical thinking to always stay relevant to our generations.
Well, for me, about the AI thingy and how we can see it, I think AI is not really replacing our job as a whole. It's not really, maybe it is automating the task rapidly, very rapidly, must I say. But there are also parts where AI cannot do. I also agree with Karika, where it cannot really lead. And being a leader is not really something that you require to be smart, you require to be disciplined, you require to be fast. It's not really that. But being a leader also needs to have a very good emotional intelligence. And it's not really something that AI have. So maybe as a human, we have to focus on more about the creativity, the emotional intelligence, and also the details that the robots, the AI don't have, but the AI can help us on doing those kind of tasks. So we shouldn't really fear it, but we should utilize it to their maximum to help us to do our job in real life. Yeah.
Okay. And do you guys think with that fact, do you guys think that Gen Z still need to adapt to the companies, or the company should adapt to Gen Z? And what about the patience? Do you think that Gen Z also very mindfully do the patience or other skills?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I think patient versus marketable skills. Do young people understand the difference? Some do, some don't. Passion is important, but passion without marketable skills becomes a hobby. The ideal is finding the sweet spot between what you love and what the world needs, so you can enjoy what you do, but you also make money from it.
Okay.
What about you?
Okay, for me. For me, I think maybe some Gen Z needs little patience and some don't, but I think patience is more referred to our personal value, personal thing that we want to develop, but market or something other skills that need to us for pays our bills. And refers to my others questions. I think that's also the adaptations between Gen Z and the company. Maybe company should also adapt to the Gen Z culture, passion thingy and something like that. But while also Gen Z need to adapt to workplace reality, so we can do merging the two sides, so we can have a better teamwork together in the office culture.
Well, for me, I also said it before. It's not really about whose fault it is. Whose fault is it, Gen Zs or the companies? But it required from both sides. One is understanding, and one is the eagerness to adapt to the demands of Gen Z. So I think it's just both sides that need to be understanding of each other, and we also have to understand that the time is shifting and it's not really the same demands from the previous generations. We are maybe not too vocal about their demands. But however, I also see, talking about passion and marketable skills, I also have friends who are passionate about maybe doing sports like badminton, and they wanted to open some kind of training and what do you call them? Being an entrepreneurship of in a sport path. However, I also tell them that it's not really something that a passion or a hobby, must I say. You should not be chasing it as the first job that you are doing. Like when you dedicate your whole life to your hobby and you see it as a job, it has more risk than you intended, than you see before. Because when you see your job and you're happy as a job and you are not getting the benefits from your job, then you will just lose focus and you will lose the whole hobby itself. You will lose your passion. And I see that maybe you can have your passion, but make it the second kind of option from your first option, so that you can provide your passion more with your first job, and it's more sustainable and stable than your second job. Yeah.
Right. Agree. I also differentiate what kind of work that I want to choose and patience, because I think patience is kind of felt that I want the entertainment. Yeah. I want to feel entertained by that. So I don't want them to merge exactly what I like as my hobby, as my passions, to things that I do daily in work, because I don't want to feel bored. I don't want to feel overwhelmed, but the things that I really like. And if talking about that, if money were not an issue for Gen Z, what do you guys think work that will Gen Z pursue?
Yeah, from our discussion and our talk, probably jobs with like creativity, freedom, and impact fields, where Gen Z feel they can express themselves and contribute to the company.
Yeah. What about you?
Me personally, if money were not an issue, I think I would go to the humanitarian field. I want to do social things, to not afraid to give something to everyone.
Yeah.
Because I think Gen Z were not afraid to do hard work. We're just afraid to do something that meaningless. And what about you? What do you personal preference if money were not an issue?
Yeah, I also think the same. I myself, we as an international relations student, maybe also have more interest on fixing the social economy differences in Indonesia or even globally. But I think me myself, I want to help the people, our gender, like a woman, who are being treated unfairly outside, and I want to raise awareness on that. I want to, and aside of that, aside of my part as an international relations student who are rooted in me, of course, now, I also want to just be a teacher, maybe be a teacher But seeing the situation right now in Indonesian economics and Indonesian priority on education, being a teacher is not really something that are paid good. So I think if money weren't the issue in Indonesia, I think I would become like an activist or a teacher to help our youth. Yeah.
Perfect. What do you personally want to choose if money were not exist?
I don't know. I don't think about it, but if I have to choose, I would like to be a
Power Ranger?
farmer.
Power Ranger?
I would like to be farmer.
You like to do cures with big
Pipe. Yeah, maybe you like long things.
Okay, so I think we want to do something freedomly that also close to our hearts. But yeah, the reality, the money is an issue.
Yeah, it's very much a big issue.
Okay, so from yesterday episode, if you guys watching it, we talk about social media, influencer versus expert, and something like that. And related to this issue about the Gen Z valuable in work, what do you guys think? How big is the impact of content creators or influencers on Gen Z jobs expectations?
The impact is massive, I think.
Okay.
Social media shows the glamorous side of careers like traveling, flexible schedules, instant success from crypto or anything like that. But it rarely shows the discipline, failure, and consistency behind the scenes. That creates both inspiration and unrealistic expectation for the Gen Z.
Yeah.
I also agree that content creators and influencers played a big role for us to have our job expectations, because maybe in social media, success is something like really easy, it's an instant one. So I think the comparison is more being a pressure for us. We see a lot of young people get the first 1 trillion in their bank account, the first Mercy car in their reach and something like that, while we are here do some invisible hard work and we also can achieve that kind of thing. So I think that cases also create a mindset for Gen Z that also affect their job expectations. They want something more beneficial for them, both personal development, salary, wages, and something that can give them the stability to achieve what they want in work and life.
Yeah, I also think that the content creators and the influencers, they do have a huge impact on Gen Z, especially seeing how we are used to seeing social media as an everyday kind of habit and ritual thingy in our daily lives. When we see it daily and when we see it very consistent, I think it became part of our life, and there are also a blur of where the reality is and where is the space, the part of the the part where the social media stands in our lives. So when there is a blur like that, and you see people who have a better job environment, a better job benefits, then you, as a person, you also see yourself as someone who needs to be like that, who needs to be fulfilled like that with their job or with their work environment. So yeah, I do think that the content creators and the influencers who are on social media, they influence us a lot. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what do you guys think Gen Z truly wants or seek? Is it stability, meaning, freedom, or recognition? For me, I think they want a mix of stability, meaning, freedom, and recognition. But the propositions vary individually. Gen Z is not a one-size-fits-all generation. What do you guys think?
all of them, obviously. We want all of them, but in balance. We want stability. We want a meaningful job. We want a freedom. We want a recognitions. Because stability without meaning it causes stress. Freedom without stability also give us a pressure. While freedom without recognition, without stability, also give us a emptiness in our heart. So I think we want all of them, but stay in balance. We want to have a meaningful jobs that can give us a value as a personal development, but also can give us a freedom to do the jobs efficient. But on the other side, we want the stability. We want to have the job that can give us a better life than before, while we can have a good environment to recognize us as a human, actually.
Yeah, for me, a healthy work environment, it will provide you all of the aspects like stability. When you are working in a good work environment, then they will offer you a stability, whether it's like just economic kind of stability, or if you are treated or accepted as their karyawan tetap. Employee, just like the employee in a long contract kind of situation. And also talking about the meaning, when you are working in a good work environment, then they will give you a meaning which will impact not just you but also other lives outside of the company. And also the freedom when you have to express yourself, that you are not need to be treated some way, then they give you the freedom of expression. They will hear about your complaint. They will see what needs to be changed. That it is a very good work environment. However, as a person, we also need a recognition. We also need to be heard. So it's not really some fake recognition. Oh, you're so smart, something like that. It's just we need the recognition when we do something good and beneficial for the company. Then we are expected to be treated very well, or just we need some kind of appreciation because of our contribution to the company. So it's not really just a lot of demands. It's just a fair treatment from the company to us.
Okay, to close our discussion today, maybe what is one mindset shift both from the employers and Gen Z need to make for work culture to improve?
I think from the employers, they have to trust young people more, give them room to innovate, right? Not to tell them what to do, but to guide them to do their job. And from the Gen Z, understand that growth takes time. Not everything happens instantly. If both sides adopt these mindsets, workplace culture can improve drastically.
Yeah, I also think that, as I said before, it's not really the employers or the company's fault or responsibility alone. It also us as a Gen Z responsibility to not do many efforts. It's not really many effort. We just need to give their time. We just need to give their space to change. How can we see the differences, the changes that the company will do if we are not in the company anymore, you see? So it is a space for us to grow, to adapt to the new environment very fast. But it is also the company to also adapt to the demands of the young people who are raised in different generations than them. So there will be differences, but it is our responsibility to be understanding of each other. And you?
Okay, for me, I think the company should shift from control to trust the Gen Z. While Gen Z, I think, need to shift from the instant result to the long-term mastery. So I think when the trust met patience, the work culture will be beneficial for all of them.
Okay, so maybe that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a topic with so many layers, and we hope today's discussion help clarify some of the misunderstanding between generations. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
See you again.
See you.